Howdy, folks, and a great big welcome to each and every one of you. Well, today's kind of a lazy day. A couple of days ago, we had a big snowfall, and yesterday I went out and shoveled off the driveway and shoveled off our deck at the back of the house. And I got up this morning and it was minus 31 centigrade, which is around minus 26 Fahrenheit. Well, it warmed up to minus 20 though, so. And we got a nice warm house too. So, today I'm going to, because it's a lazy day, I'm going to play this thing, which I built in 2002. Seems like it was just yesterday. Spent a lot of time building it. Let me fire it up for you. I got a clutch here so I can reverse it. There we go. Okay, we are ready to go. Put this plug back in. Close that down. Oh. It's the only instrument I have that I can play while I'm drinking a cup of coffee. Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed the pneumatic organ. The tune that I played there is an old tune. It's called the Ash Grove. What I'd like to do now is a little Bible reading. So for those of you folks who aren't interested, please end the video now. Thanks for watching. See you next time. For those of you who are hanging on, I came across Zechariah in the Old Testament and then another Zechariah in the New Testament. The first one in the Old Testament was one of the latter prophets in Ezra. He's mentioned in the book of Ezra. Chapter 5 says, Now Haggai the prophet and Zechariah the prophet, a descendant of Edo, prophesied to the Jews in Judah and Jerusalem in the name of God who is over them. Then Zerubbabel and Jeshua set to work to rebuild the house of God in Jerusalem, and the prophets of God were with them, helping them. So that Zechariah encouraged the rebuilding of the temple, and then later on he wrote his own book towards it's the second. I think it's the second last one or third last one. Zechariah and Malachi. Yeah. Very end of the Old Testament. So in the book that Zechariah wrote, starts off by saying, in the 8th month of the 2nd year of Darius, the word of the Lord came to the prophet Zechariah, son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo. The Lord was very angry with your forefathers. Therefore tell the people, this is what the Lord Almighty says. Return to me, declares the Lord Almighty, and I will return to you, says the Lord Almighty. Do not be like your forefathers, to whom the earlier prophets proclaimed, this is what the Lord Almighty says. Turn from your evil ways and your evil practices. But they would not listen or pay attention to me, declares the Lord. Where are your forefathers now? And the prophets, do they live forever? But did not my words and my decrees which I commanded my servants, the prophets, overtake your forefathers? Then they repented and said, the Lord Almighty has done to us what our ways and practices deserve, just as he determined to do. So, it's the consequences of not following in the good path that God described. So Zechariah, go to Malachi, and that's the last book in the Old Testament. And after that, there were 400 years of absolute nothing. No prophets, nobody writing a book. There was zero. And then in the New Testament, in Luke, another Zechariah shows up. Luke chapter 1. In the time of Herod, king of Judea, there was a priest named Zechariah, not a prophet, but a priest, who belonged to the priestly division of Abijah. His wife Elizabeth was also a descendant of Aaron. Both of them were upright in the sight of God, observing all the Lord's commandments and regulations blamelessly. But they had no children because Elizabeth was barren, and they were both well along in years. So later on, the angel appears to Zechariah and says, "You're going to have a son." And because Zechariah doubted what the angel had said, the angel made him mute until his son was born. At any rate, this Zechariah in the New Testament and his wife Elizabeth were the parents of John the Baptist, who was one of the greatest prophets, if not the greatest. And he prepared the way for the arrival of Jesus. So, that's the two Zechariahs. Hope you enjoyed little readings. And thanks for watching and listening to the reading. Hope you enjoyed Ash Grove played on that organ. See you down the road, and God bless you.